single day. I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am Ginger Wolf, and this is Stripped Finance. I am a feature entertainer and stripper, not a financial consultant. So any and all information received from this channel is meant only for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes. So please, if you have any questions or concerns, take it up with your financial consultant. Now with that out of the way, let's enjoy today's video. Bye!
Hi everybody, welcome back to Stripped Finance. So, today we are going to be doing a video on mezzanine financing. And so, the article is on Investopedia, obviously, because I really like their setup, so we're going to stick with that. But the article itself is done by Adam Hayes and was reviewed by Julius Manza and fact-checked by Kristen Rohrschmidt. And you gotta be really careful about how you pronounce that, because YouTube doesn't like the cuss words, so if you're not careful, they tell you that your video is a no-no, and then they take it away. And then all of the recording and the editing and the time and effort just goes to waste. So, let's get started. What is mezzanine financing? Mezzanine financing is a hybrid of debt and equity financing that gives the lender the right to convert the debt to an equity interest in the company in case of default, generally after venture capital companies and other senior lenders are paid. In terms of risk, it exists between senior debt and equity. Mezzanine debt has embedded equity instruments, often known as warrants attached, which increase the value of the subordinated debt and allows for greater flexibility when dealing with bondholders. Mezzanine financing is frequently associated with acquisitions and buyouts, for which it may be used to prioritize new owners ahead of existing owners in case of bankruptcy. Okay, so how does it work? Mezzanine financing bridges the gap between debt and equity financing and is one of the highest risk forms of debt. It is senior to pure equity but subordinate to pure debt. However, this means that it also offers some of the highest returns to investors in debt when compared to other debt types, as it is often receives rates from 12 to 20% per year and sometimes as high as 30%. Mezzanine financing can be considered as very expensive debt or cheaper equity, because mezzanine financing carries a higher interest rate than the senior debt that companies would otherwise obtain through their banks, but is substantially less expensive than the equity in the terms of the overall cost of capital. It's also less diluting to the company's share value. In the end, mezzanine financing permits a business to more capital and increases its return on equity. Companies will turn to mezzanine financing in order to fund specific growth projects or to help with acquisitions having short to medium term time horizons. Often these loans will be funded by the company's long-term investors and existing funders of the company's capital. In that case of preferred equity, there is in effect no obligation to repay the money acquired through equity financing. Since there are no mandatory payments to be made, the company has more liquid capital available to it for investing in the business. Even a mezzanine loan requires only interest payments prior to the maturity, and thus also leaves more free capital in the hands of the business owner. So apparently y'all really liked my weird personality in the last video. when I was talking about my truck. If you didn't get it last time, it's named Taco, by the way. And if you don't know why it's named Taco, it's okay. Some people just don't get it. But I bought a Tacoma, so it makes me very happy because I'm very big. And this is Fred, obviously. Don't pay attention to the way he's kind of like sitting, kind of like off center. My sister's dog got a hold of it today and ripped off one of his legs. So I had to amputate it and then sew it back on and restuff it. So now I guess you can say he has a prosthetic leg. And everything's fine. Everything's great. It's fine. Let's just continue on with the video. The mezzanine financing structure. Mezzanine financing exists in a company's capital structure between its senior debt and its common stocks as either subordinated debt, preferred equity, or some combination of the two. The most common structure for mezzanine financing is unsecured subordinated debt. Subdebt, as it is also called, is an unsecured bond or loan that ranks below more senior loans or securities in its ability to claim against the company's assets or earnings. In the case of a borrower default, subdebt holders are not paid out until all senior debt holders are paid in full. Unsecured subdebt means that the debt is backed only by the company's promise to pay. In other words, there is no lien or other credit that supports the debt. Other mezzanine debt is secured by a lien. These people, they put is security by a lien. And I'm like, oh, what? Like, the person who reviewed it for grammar mistakes, either A, they ran out of coffee, or B, they just didn't do a very good job. But back to what we were doing. Other mezzanine debt is secured by a lien on the underlying property and is therefore secured. Payments are usually made with monthly payments of debt service based on a fixed or floating rate and the balance due at maturity date. Preferred equity, rather than being a loan that may be unsecured or secured by a lien, is an equity investment in a property-owning entity. It is generally subordinate to mortgage loans and any mezzanine loans, but it is senior to common equity. It is genuinely deemed to be a higher risk than a mezzanine debt because of the increased risk and lack of collateral. Payments are made through priority distributions before any distributions to holders of common equity. Some investors negotiate to receive additional profit participation, and the principal is repaid at the stated redemption date, usually after that of a mezzanine debt. The sponsor. I cannot speak. It's been that kind of day, okay? The sponsor may sometimes negotiate for an extension of this date. A preferred equity investor may, however, have the broader corporate approval rights because it does not have a lender liability issues. So, it's not super late today, right? It's not even 1 in the morning. However, I cannot sleep. So, we're doing a couple of videos so that way I do not feel guilty later on whenever I have a Harry Potter marathon. Because I am a nerd. And this is definitely going to have to be a two-parter because we still have 3, possibly 4 sections. Gosh dang it, Fred. Sit. He's okay. Anyways, I will be doing another video on mezzanine financing part 2, right? Also, I do have an upcoming booking, and I'll be in Texas. because, you know, everybody loves Texas. So if you are in Texas and you want to meet me in person, I will be at Victoria at the Maximus Club. So, you should go, say hello, see my titties, and we'll just have a great time. So y'all be careful, remember that I love y'all, and be watching out for part 2. Say bye. This is Harold, by the way. Alright, bye everybody. I'll see you next time.
Hi guys! So the effect of gravity seems to be having a really weird kind of like effect on me here. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe while I go figure this out. Bye!